Well, hello and welcome back to another video. Yeah, you're seeing right, I'm playing high tier jets. This is me taking out the Mirage F1 C200, the premium Mirage F1 you get in the French tech tree. Now, top tier, well, this is not really top tier, but this is pretty high tier. Isn't really my forte, to be honest. I don't really like the meta. I'm not nearly as interested in the aircraft of the modern era as I am in aircraft of World War II. But there are a few I really like, the Crusader being one of them. And this is another one. This is the Mirage F1, a French light fighter aircraft of the Cold War era. Now, when it comes to fighter aircraft, it doesn't get more classic than the Mirage F1 in my opinion. I mean, this is the embodiment of a jet fighter, if you ask me. Sleek, armed with missiles, a single engine, it looks beautiful, sharp and pointy nose. I mean, this is, in my opinion, the most classic of fighter aircraft, at least when it comes to jet-powered fighters. As I remember, the Mirage F1 isn't really that good of an aircraft here in War Thunder. I mean, it's workable, particularly since they redid the battle ratings. I mean, this thing sits at 12.0, I think, and it is actually pretty fun, mainly because it gets these two Matra Magic 2s, which have IRCCM. So yeah, they can be quite fun. Unless you're going up against stuff like that. That was an F-14, which can fire Fox 3 missiles. And yeah, there isn't really much fun in getting yeeted by AIM-54s from across the map, at least if you ask me. And in general, the top tier meta just isn't for me. I mean, it's basically just the aircraft which gets the better missile wins. At least for the most part. There's of course some skill involved, but in my opinion not even nearly as much as it is in lower tier, in propeller fighters or early jets. And you see me there launching one of my Magic 2s against that Phantom, but he actually manages to decoy the missile. So lock up a second F2, this time an F4S. And this time the missile hits home, giving me my first kill. Now I have fired both my infrared missiles, which means I'm down to my two Super 530s and a single R530 I'm carrying also. The 530 is, I mean the one below the belly, the regular 530 is pretty useless in this sort of scenario, but hey, sometimes you get an enemy that is distracted and it works. I'm trying to take out an AI, but yeah, these Super 530s, they aren't really that good. Launching some flares, there's an F-14 behind me, need to keep an eye on that. I'm not trying actually to get the kill on the F-14. Because even though the Mirage seems pretty mediocre on paper, it is actually pretty maneuverable. In a 1 vs 1 situation, this thing can actually be quite formidable, particularly because it is very fast on the deck. And the F-14 has decoyed my missile. Not that I didn't expect that. Launched the R530. Again, not expect it to hit, but it will cause him to take evasive actions, and this will bleed his airspeed, which allows me to easily catch up. As you can see, Mirage F1 has no problem catching up to that F-14. I am getting closer and closer. That was actually R530 exploding. Not the fastest missile, but I'm out of missile anyway, so yeah, now I'm down to my two 30mm DEFAs. And the F-14 is trying to evade, bleeding speed, but oh, not today, buddy. There it is, kill number 2, easy peasy. I have to admit, that did look kinda cool. So yeah, kill on an F-14, one of the most dangerous aircraft on the enemy team taken care of. One other good thing about the F1 is that you get a lot, I mean a shit ton of countermeasures. You are not likely to run out of flares and chaff in this aircraft. Also, I really like this desert camo scheme. It really is a beautiful aircraft, isn't it? The Mirage F1 was actually the premier fighter and interceptor aircraft of the French Air Force until the Mirage 2000 appeared. They were retired in the French Air Force only rather recently, in 2014 actually, and they still see continued service with various other nations around the globe. This really was an aircraft that was heavily exported, particularly also in the Arabian regions. And I'm looking up that corners, Israeli version of the F4 Phantom, and I just need to evade his missiles. If I can do that and I can position myself behind him, he virtually doesn't stand any chance. The Mirage F1 is way more maneuverable. And I'm cutting speed. I don't want to come in too fast. Fire off a few shots. He tries the same maneuver as the F-14, but again, it doesn't work, and I easily get the drop on him. That is kill number 3. I do get the feeling that many players do really forget how to dogfight in top tier, because it really is a missile-heavy meta. Flight performance of the individual aircraft appears to be not as important, but when you're out of missiles, you're basically back to, well, low tier engagements. You know, using your guns, outflying your opponent, and I'm gonna do right that with that MiG-23. He has launched a missile. I'm notching his radar. Fired off quite a lot of chaff, but well, again, this aircraft has so much of it. And now I know I'm gonna win this, because the Mirage F1 is way more maneuverable. Taking it into the vertical, I'm bleeding his speed. In my opinion, the MiG-23, it has a very powerful engine, but it does not like to turn. And the Mirage F1 does have, at least I thought, a better continuous turn rate. But he is keeping inside my turn actually rather well. The circle does get a little bit wider, but any second now I see an opening. I see a contrail up in the sky, launch some flares because I think that's the other enemy aircraft. And now he is at so slow speed. I pop my air brakes, force the overshoot, and now he's done for. He's basically done for. We are very, very low speed. I see he's cutting inside my turn, so I roll out just as he's about to get his nose on target very closely, and now this is it. Now this is it, and he notices it, and he just bails out. He knows he's not gonna win that. Yeah, that has to be one of the coolest kills I've ever achieved. Even though I didn't gun him technically down myself, but there was no chance in hell he was gonna survive that. I was getting him with that reversal, no matter what. So yeah, 4 kills, and now I am pretty low on fuel, which means we are RTB. Gunning the afterburner, there is enough time left to get back to base, rearm. The other enemy aircraft only has no kills, but does have a bit of he has dropped some bombs on our bases. So I am suspecting he is a bomber, maybe something like a tornado, or at least he's flying his aircraft as a bomber. So this should be an easy kill if I manage to get back to base and rearm in time. But again, with the Mirage F1's tremendous speed, getting somewhere is not really a problem. In fact, this thing can go so fast in the deck that it rips itself apart if you're not careful enough. But yeah, I actually kinda enjoy this thing. My KD with this aircraft is... Oh, and the last aircraft has actually decided to leave the battle, so yeah, not an ace for us, but still a pretty good result. But yeah, anyways, my KD with the Mirage F1 is not the best. It is over 1 to 1, but I'm slowly working it up. I mean, I am planning on flying this aircraft more regularly, and I should get better results. But yeah, I am still learning how to fly this thing a little bit. It's I love how precise it is, but yeah, with F-14s and stuff around and F-16s, it can be a little bit tricky. But anyways, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.